Hello, good afternoon. Today we come to another exciting country. You know that every time we're always discovering more and more migrant opportunities. Whether you want to study abroad, you want to work abroad, or want to live abroad permanently. So today we are talking about one of the most expensive and one of the most beautiful country in the world. And this country is the richest country in the world. I'm talking about Luxembourg today, and is Europe's most powerful investment management center. And Luxembourg is also one of the safest and the most desirable place to live in the world. This country is the most almost everybody wants to go to Luxembourg, want to live there in Luxembourg. So if you've been you have a very low budget, you cannot afford to go and study in US, in Canada, in UK. I mean, you cannot afford about 50 million or 60 million as your proof of fund, your POF, to any of these countries that I've mentioned. I think Luxembourg should be an option, and in fact it should be the best option if you want to go abroad. So I'll just be reading out some statistics about this country called Luxembourg, and I think with this you really have a kind of desire or interest to live in this country. Luxembourg has a free public education system for children between the primary school age and secondary school. The government provides free education in Luxembourg. That means if you are going to Luxembourg and want to migrate with your family, your children can have free education, and you don't have to bother yourself about tuition fee for your children. Then another thing in Luxembourg is that healthcare is free in Luxembourg. You can access primary healthcare, you can access healthcare system in Luxembourg. It's free if you're a citizen in Luxembourg, or if you're a landed immigrant in Luxembourg, you can have access free healthcare. Then another thing is that public transportation is also free in Luxembourg. In fact, this has been free since March 2020. And when we talk about public transportation, it includes train, it includes public buses, it includes trams. And this policy not only extends to citizens living there, it also extends to cross-border citizens, it includes commuters and also tourists. That means that if you just by chance you find yourself in Luxembourg, you can take free public transportation. It's like when I was in France the other time in a particular city, public transportation is free. You don't have to pay a dime to take public buses. So that is how this country is. Then another thing is that if you land at the airport and you want to move to the airport, take taxi from the airport. The transport is also free at the airport. You can imagine, and this has been on since 2020 in Luxembourg. And Luxembourg also has the lowest visa refusal rate. The visa refusal rate is just about 12.7% as at 2023. So if you want to go to Luxembourg, you don't need to be afraid of going to Luxembourg, whether you are afraid of visa refusal. This country has the lowest visa refusal rate. So you can be assured rest if you apply for visa that you will get your visa approval. And as at 2023, Luxembourg population is 666,430. So you can imagine how small the country Luxembourg is. 666,430 people living there. And the number of Africans living there, the number of Africans living in Luxembourg, like Nigeria, like Gambian, like Malians, different people from Africa. There are about 17,506 people, and this is about 2.6% of Luxembourg population. 17,506 people, Africans are living in Luxembourg, and this amount to about 2.6% of the population. So that means that if you go to this country, you can see your brothers, Africans, living there. You are free. And English is spoken there, French is spoken there, and I think a little bit of German. So if you want to go to Luxembourg, it's a very, very wonderful opportunity. In fact, it's the dream country for most people who want to migrate to Europe, because this country is very, very beautiful, and the people there, they are very, very friendly and lively. And as at January 31st, 2025, I'm giving the current statistics now. As at January 31st, 2025, the number of available resident job seekers registered with ADEM, that is the job listing in Luxembourg, stands at 19,431. 19,431. That was as at 31st January this year. And this means is an increase of 1,114 people, or you call it 6.1% increase compared to that of last year. That's January 2024. So you can imagine. So that means that the job market continue to increase, and the average salary in Luxembourg per month is €2,637.79. That's the average salary for unskilled workers. If you are unskilled workers like cleaners, like drivers, like masons, like clerk, unskilled workers, this is the average salary you can get if you are working as an unskilled worker in Luxembourg. While the hourly rate is 15 euro 267 cents, 15 euro. So with this, I mean, they can get about 15 euro per hour. For skilled workers, that's teachers, bankers, lawyers, engineers, the average salary is put at 3,165 3,165. So that means that you can earn an average salary of about 3,165 euro per month. That's the average salary. And this country, Luxembourg, the main earning is banking, steel, and industry. There are many industries there. They have banking. They strengthen the financial sector. The banking sector is strengthening in Luxembourg, and also they also invest in steel. And of course, the city capital is in Luxembourg. So that is why for those people looking for job like banking and finance, you want to work in a bank, you want to work in IT, you want to work in engineering, you want to work in the construction sector, you want to work in hospitality, you want to work in the supermarkets and some other sector like healthcare, you have opportunity to work in Luxembourg. So today I'll be giving you all the information you need about studying in Luxembourg, about working in Luxembourg and living in Luxembourg, how to apply for visa to come to Luxembourg. And apart from all the things that I've mentioned in Luxembourg, the advantages of living there, there are also some disadvantages. One of the disadvantages, because this country is one of the most attractive places apart from Switzerland in Europe, there's high cost of living because many people want to move there. In fact, inside there are some housing shortage arising as a need for housing in that place. So if you are planning to go to Luxembourg, you need to budget very well for housing between 2,000 and 3,000 euros per month. And also you might also see that sometimes the food and maybe prices of goods and taxes are a little bit higher than in other Schengen states. Those are just some few things. But with the average earning, if you're a professional there, you can you should be able to live in Luxembourg like a king. So that's why today I'll be sharing with you how to apply to come to Luxembourg, some jobs available in Luxembourg, how to apply, and other information. So how can I work in Luxembourg? That's another question. How can I work in Luxembourg? The first thing, if you want to work in Luxembourg, is that you need to pattern your CV according to the European standard or according to the Luxembourg job market. There are ways of writing CV, not the way they write CV here in Nigeria. You need to pattern your CV. You need to have and make the CV to look like you are looking for a job in Luxembourg, not like you are looking for a job in Nigeria. And you need to also write a cover letter in order to get job, because some organizations will ask you for a cover letter if you're applying for a job in Luxembourg. And also you need to also be a bit, that is an advantage if you're a bit proficient in French, because most indigents there, they speak French, and some organizations will need applicants who are very, very fluent in English and French. And maybe if you can speak a little German, it's also an advantage. I mean, there are most organizations looking for applicants who can speak English very well. But if you have you are bilingual, that means you can speak both English and French, or you are multilingual, you can speak English, French, and German. That means that you become irresistible to most employers. Another thing is that after patterning your CV according to the European standard, you need to seek job. There are many job sites like job.lu, job.lu, and workinluxembourg.lu, workinluxembourg.eu. So these are some jobs, job websites you can apply for in Luxembourg and get job after designing your CV. Then the next thing is to look for job. Then you also need to gather all the necessary documents, like you need to have a valid international passport for at least 6 months or 1 year if you want to apply to come and work in Luxembourg. You need to also have your degree certificate, copies of your diploma, your work experience, and some other kind of qualification and certification depending on your profession. If you are an accountant, you need to, if you have chartered qualification in accounting like ACCA, like ICANN, is an advantage, or ANAN, you have all these certification. If you are an IT professional, you have certification with Java, with Oracle, and with Microsoft, or any of the organization like Google. It will make you to get the job because it makes you certified. And for most employers, they need at least 2 or 3 years experience. So with this, if you put this on your CV, it will give you an edge to be able to get job. So after doing the job search, after getting all the necessary documents, when you get the necessary document, please bear in mind that if you're applying for any job abroad, you need to do a criminal check. You need to go to the police department and go and request for certificates, criminal certificates, police character certificates. That's what they will need. You need to get a criminal record certificate that you don't have any criminal case or criminal records. They need that. The embassy needs you to show this. Then another thing is that you need to also get a recent passport photograph with white background. You need to also have a proof of funds. You don't need much money in your account, but if you have something like 10 million or 12 million in your account, that should suffice to apply for work visa. Then you need to also get an health insurance, maybe for at least 1 year. When you're applying for visa, you need to also complete an application form. It's very, very important. The application form to apply for the long stay visa, that's the national visa, not a Schengen visa this time around. That's the type D visa for work visa, is very, very important. You need to download the form on the website of the Luxembourg website. And at the moment in Nigeria, the Luxembourg doesn't have an embassy in Nigeria, but the application is done through the VFS. You can apply in Lagos or in Abuja. So complete an application form. Also get an health record, an health insurance. Get an health insurance. If you want to travel abroad, you need to get an health insurance. Then after completing this form, the next thing is to book a visa appointment at the with the VFS, and you'll be given dates of your visa appointment when you come to submit your biometric and submit your application. Please bear in mind that when you submit your application, the application can take about 45 days or more. You need to wait because it's a long stay visa. But the most important aspect is getting the job contract from an employer. That's the first thing. After searching for job, you need to get a job contract for an employer. The employer must give you a letter, and they must also state the condition of your work in the letter that is sent to you, including your salary, your leave, your allowance, and other information about the work and the work environment. It will be stated in this letter. So with this document, that is what you go to the embassy to go and apply for a visa. And the visa application fee is just about €80 or $85. If you are paying in dollars, it's $85. If you are paying in euros, it's €80. And if you have dependent like your children that are between 6 and 12 years, you just need to pay half of the visa fee. If you have children below 6 years, the visa is free. So you can see that this will give you a kind of opportunity. So if you have dependents with you like children, they need to pay. But if it's your wife and adult, that person will pay the normal visa fee that you are paying as well. So this is all about that, about the work visa application to Luxembourg. Just as I've said, the first thing is to do a job search. After that, you get a job contract from your employer. You start gathering your documents. You also bear in mind that you need to do a police character certificate. You need to get your POF. It's very, very important. They need to see your this thing. You need to also get an insurance, book a visa appointment, submit your visa appointment, pay the visa application fee, and wait for, give the embassy like maybe 45 days or 60 days in some cases. That's in some exceptional cases. Then after that, they will confirm your visa. Really, visa fee is, work visa application is rarely refused or denied, and you need to pay an application fee of that of that amount and to the any of the visa application center, whether you are using the VFS. Now let's go to the study part. So if you choose to study in Luxembourg, that is another opportunity. Luxembourg, just like other Schengen countries like France, like Germany, like Germany, like Netherlands, there are no many universities, only few universities. And one of the popular university, there's a public university in Luxembourg, is University of Luxembourg. And this university also offer free tuition to the nationals and also international students, and they just need you to pay a kind of commitment fee or of maybe €40 or €50, an enrollment fee of enrollment fee of 200 and 400 euros. And late last year, the president of Luxembourg reintroduced another fee. The reason why they introduced another fee, they discovered that there are so many application backlogs. Many people apply to come to Luxembourg. They don't follow up. They don't come to the school to come and study. So they now have to hike up the kind of enrollment fee, so that if any student, if you now decide to come to Luxembourg to come and study, that money will be returned. So you see how Nigerians are making the international community to change rule, because some people will submit, they just discover that maybe they received about 3,000 applications in 2023, and out of the 3,000 applications, only about 500 students eventually come to Luxembourg to come and study. That is just about maybe 10% of the number of applications that they receive. So because of that, they now reintroduce another application, another enrollment fee or an application fee that you have to pay maybe around 600 or 1,000 euro if you want to come. So when you get there, you just pay an enrollment fee of 200 or 400, and I think that amount of money has been changed. Then when you get to Luxembourg, the money will be returned to you. So this money just pay per semester. So if you are paying like maybe 600 euro per semester, it's just a kind of small amount of money compared to paying like 12,000 euro in Sweden, paying about 10,000 euro in Finland, or paying that amount of money in Norway and some other Schengen states. So you can see that this amount of money is ridiculously cheap, and it's Nigerians that make this rule to be changed. So if you come to Luxembourg to study, there are many opportunities to study there. One advantage that you have is that you can work as many hours as you want, and if you have a dependent that is going to go and to go with you to Luxembourg, they don't need to apply for extra work permits, and this person can come under the family member resident permit and they can work. So students are allowed during holiday, they can work about 40 hours per week during holiday and about 15 to 20 hours per week during study. So you can see that this is a very wonderful opportunity, and some of the popular courses in Luxembourg are medicine, law, engineering, economics, humanities, nursing. So if you study any of these courses in Luxembourg, you have an opportunity to work after graduation, and nobody drives you back. After finishing your program in Luxembourg, you can apply for a resident permit and start living there and start making life in Luxembourg. So that is just that. If you are applying to come to Luxembourg, you need to bear in mind that you need to do legalization of your documents. You need to apply for translation of your documents. You need to get your POF and your transcripts. If you are going for masters, you need to apply for official transcripts from your universities, and you just send it in the application. The application time for around I think there's an application for July, and there's one for September. You can apply and come to Luxembourg to come and study and live there. So if you still need more questions or you need more clarification about studying in Luxembourg, working in Luxembourg, you can send me a message on my comment section and I'll be glad to assist you. Just as I've said, there are many jobs in Luxembourg, and we have some companies recruiting now in Luxembourg, and you can make life in Luxembourg. You can live the quality of life you want in Luxembourg if Luxembourg is your dream country. I'll be waiting for your application. Please like this video, comment and share, and also please subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us for more as we give more updates about studying abroad, working abroad and living your dream abroad.